Justin, you can land $100 million hospital, you'll still be doing secretary work, bitch. What's up, Green Dragon? How's it going, guys?
Thank you very much, Chris, for figuring out how to get the hell in here so I'm not all by myself again.
Hopefully I don't lose connection too bad because I'm driving.
Right.
But I should be, once I get to where our destination is, I know I should have LTE there. But yeah, I figured that's the only way I know how to get on Sting, because you can call me in that way.
Right.
You know, it just
I didn't know you could call anybody in if you weren't in as the dragon. You know what I mean? Because usually only the dragon people can.
Only on the cell phone. Only on the cell phone you can call people in. I figured that out.
That's probably how G does it all the time.
Yeah, that's how G does it. That's how G does it. He calls people in on his iPad.
Right.
Uh-oh, I'm losing you. What'd you say?
Said, welcome to the DT Minute, because it's going to be about a minute.
Sting? How's what?
How's it going?
Welcome to... Welcome to... Dude, it's going good, bro. We've been busy. I started work early today. Am I choppy?
I think there's a lag. I don't think you hear what I say.
Coming in choppy or what?
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, there's a lag, dude.
You said that like 5 times. Yeah, right. It's because I'm on the road. So excuse us, folks, if it takes me a second to reply, due to the fact that I am driving to my next destination.
Well, dude, I'm just filling in.
Because it's lunchtime.
I'm just filling in today for Kansas.
I'm gonna go have me.
You talk a lot.
Is he all right? Is he feeling better, or is he down and out right now?
He's down and out right now. Not good at all. So
that sucks. That really does suck.
So all 3 viewers out there, one of them's probably myself. You know, keep Kansas in your thoughts and prayers. He's having issues, and apparently his doctor's on vacation until October, so he's not going to go see her for a while. I'm like, that's what the ER is for, man. Come on. But I told him I'd fill in for today. I don't know how long I'm going to actually run this. I sent out a few invites, but, you know, it's the daytime hour, so. You know, if anybody has any questions, I got to go to the range. I got to shoot those new muzzle brakes. Those are nice. I cut the cable, so I don't have cable anymore. I got a Roku now, and doing all the backwoods shit in order to get the same shows I like to watch the other way. There went Chris. Hopefully he'll be back. Mr. 10-round Patriot. But this is a great time to just chat amongst ourselves for a while. He's calling me. Oop. He didn't call me for very long, though. And I'm not really going to do the backwoods shit right now. He really needs to get Hangout app on his phone. That's what I had. Just get the Hangout app on your phone. It's not that hard. He's got a new iPhone, right? iPhone 5. But,
So what do you think about all the protesting and rioting going on in Ferguson, Missouri?
Are you going to be the question lady? That's cool. Yeah. What do I think about it? I think I'd like to support it, but on the other hand, you got Trayvon Martin's parents over there. You got the race baiters, Al Sharpton and all them. And I just don't like being associated with them. So I'm going to, you know, I don't know. They're making it more about that the cops are picking on them because they're black versus the cops are picking on everybody. And I don't like that. Cops, you know, just because I'm white, yeah, that might be the case. You know, maybe they think they can get away with that with black folks more than they can with white folks. But the point is, the cops are murdering everybody, no matter what their skin color. Ooh, look, Green Dragon joined. Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Not too
Sorry
bad.
to hear Kansas is a little down and out there. So what's this bullshit? A doctor went on vacation until October. That's sounds like
Yeah,
Obamacare or something.
no, I don't know, man. That's what Kansas told me. I think he just doesn't want to go. He doesn't really like
Yeah,
his doctors very much.
it's like I had to do business at the courthouse, and you got to go through the metal detector, and you can't bring your phone in there, and all this bullshit. And I go, hell, I'd rather go to the dentist than go to the fucking courthouse.
Yeah. Courthouse is not,
Uh,
man. I went to the courthouse and I took off the gun. I took off. I didn't. I left the gun at home. I left the pocket knife at home. I get there, and they, not only do you have to go through a metal detector, but you got to put all your shit through an X-ray machine at my courthouse. And I had forgotten that I had a little credit card knife that my friend Swedish Paracord Nut gave me. And they don't have any storage facilities there, so you have to take it out back to your car. Well, we had a park so far away, I was just like, forget it. I'm just not going in. And it was the wife's appointment there anyway, so I just stayed in the car.
well, fortunately, most of the county administration bullshit is in a different building, but if you got to do anything with the court services, you still got to go through the security. But
Well, it wasn't that bad when I was in the other courthouse in Phoenix. This one was in Mesa. The one in Phoenix, they have a storage facility. If you take your gun in there or anything that's not allowed, they'll just put it in a little lockbox until you get back. Give you a ticket,
yeah,
to get
which
your
is
ID.
cool, you know.
Yeah,
Like, a lot of counties are just don't want to spend the money for that, or they haven't been asked to do it yet, I guess.
I suppose. But yeah, Kansas is
Yeah,
not feeling well, and that sucks. And I don't know. I've been kind of out of the news loop. Haven't been watching news much lately because I cut the cable and I have to watch it a little bit differently than I'm used to. So it's the learning curve.
yeah. The last two dragons have been kind of interesting. We're watching all that shit going on in St. Louis neighborhood.
Yeah, I heard about the whole watching Twitter and reporting on what was going on Twitter. As I was just saying before you jumped in, I love to back that up, because the cops are after everybody. But now you got all the, Al Sharpton and all these race baiters out there, and Trayvon Martin's parents are now weighing in. It's like they're totally making it the cops versus blacks, where it should be the cop versus everybody, because the cops trample on everybody's rights at some point, no matter what color you are.
Yeah, it just happened to be that particular neighborhood when the shit went down.
Right. So I'd love to support them, and if I was around there, I'd hope to think that I was right there with them. But on the other hand, I don't want to be associated with that shit. So
Yeah,
associated making it just the cops after the black people, not after anybody else. Because all I hear now is they don't do this shit in a white neighborhood. They've killed many white kids.
oh yeah. I'm just wondering if this kind of protest type shit is going to spread to other cities or not. But
Well, we saw it in New Mexico after they released the video of them shooting that homeless kid.
yeah, for Albuquerque, people show up for police brutality rally, and then the cops mace them and break up their demonstration. You know.
Yeah.
You said something about you went out shooting. What was it that you were trying out?
Oh, new muzzle brakes for the AKs.
Okay, you still haven't repaired your piston system yet, huh?
As I said, dude, I got other things I want to get to. I had gotten that done with a lot of money put into it, and then it broke, and then I put some more money into it, and it broke, and now I'm just like, I want to do some other things for a while before I put more money into that.
Well, what do you need? The barrel nut and the piston rod? Is that the two parts that are fucked up?
No, it's just the free float rail.
Oh, the whole rail system is part of the problem. Huh? Okay.
Well, the rail system would work fine on a gas system. In fact, if they don't, take it back and give me my money back, which I doubt they will, then I'll probably just put it on a gas system AR eventually. But it's an aluminum barrel nut, and so the piston beat the holy shit out of it and turned that circle that the gas tube goes in, it turned it into an oval, and it closed up on the piston because of that. So I just need to find a free-floating barrel that uses a steel barrel nut.
But the barrel nut, isn't that how the rail attaches to the upper or whatever?
Yeah, but the Spikes Tactical uses a specific barrel nut.
Yeah, instead of going to a machine shop and say, here, can you make me one of these instead of out of aluminum, make it out of steel, you know?
That's true. Maybe I don't know how much that would cost versus how much it costs just to buy a new rail system too. You know, it's some of the
They won't
rails.
sell you the nut separately?
Well, if I go to a machine shop, then they're going to have to build one. Versus Spikes Tactical only makes the aluminum version. They don't sell the full version barrel nut.
They won't sell the barrel nut separately. So you just replace it.
Well, I could replace it, but it would just happen again.
Yeah. So unless you drill it out and put a steel bushing in there or something.
Yeah. So
now a machine shop could do that. Then just press a bushing of some kind in there that would tolerate the movement of the piston rod.
Right.
Now, is that a place that they recommend lubrication to when you operate a piston system?
No. I had done that, but it's not It's not necessarily recommended. It's supposed to be very free moving, and the piston system videos and all that shit I've ever seen was never done to a free float. Well, not an originally free floating system. It was done with the clamshell hand guards. So, and that's of course with a steel barrel nut, and that's really all I need. I just need to get a new rail system. I've seen them out there for probably $150, $200, and I could get it up and running. But the deal for the AK was too tempting, and I want to get my Saiga back and up and running.
Yeah, you just have to tell the thing. It's got to wait in line.
Yeah, it's just waiting its turn. But I still have it all. And if that doesn't work, which I'm sure it will, but if it didn't work, then I'll probably just piece out that AR and make 2 ARs out of it, because I'd make one that's maybe for longer distances, and then one that's just a gas system.
Yeah, I watched a video where they were wondering about what the best gun is for shooting 22, and basically all he was doing is comparing the velocities out of different barrel lengths, and he tried different ammunition, and like 4 different kinds of ammunition. They all got the highest velocity out of like about a 19-inch barrel for a 22. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't know about finding I haven't seen a 19-inch barrel available. I've seen the 20-inch and 18s.
Yeah, I don't remember what exactly what length it was, but this wasn't the longest barrel. It was somewhere around that 18, 19-inch range, and then the velocity start dropping off if you got a longer barrel. 22s are so small they just can't produce enough gas to keep pushing it further down the barrel,
Right. It would be nice to have a really, very nice, accurate long-distance shooter. Like if I was to piece it out, the upper is a billet upper, and that would be good for a long-distance, scoped 20-inch barrel, really accurate shooter. Put in the Timney trigger because that's really good for accuracy. And just make myself something that can really kind of reach out as far as an AR, should be able to reach out.
Yeah, we kind of had fun last night. We were, talking about the bullshit in St. Louis, and I copied a picture off of Twitter. Let's see if I can find it here. And then we were studying it. Yeah, okay, get it up and do the screen share here. Screen share. Start screen share. All right, there we go. We're just talking about these cops that's sitting on top of this truck and looking at how they're decked out shit.
Is that a red dot on a 45-degree angle? That's different.
That's what I was trying to figure out what it is, because there's no backside. It's got the adjustable cheek thingy, and must be a billet lower. I'm guessing. I don't know. It looks like it's formed or something. I don't know. Can you tell if it's machined or forged? I don't know.
It's usually the thickness, but yeah, from that I can't really tell.
Yeah, free
like that too.
Free float barrel guard, and nice big ass scope.
This is Missouri too, man. It's not that bad for guns. They could totally, have their right to own firearms and do that, but a lot of them have criminal past, and a lot of them are too scared to do that. I don't know.
Well, this is the cops here. I don't know, and they got those special patches, and I don't know if that was something to do with their special forces. All have these kind of patches. I don't know. You see 'em, you know, we talked about that a lot with the Bundy Ranch thing about looking at the funny patches, and we got this dude here. We were talking about this gadget here. We are guessing it was a microphone. So I don't know. Maybe he's listening to. He's actually trying to communicate with somebody, but I don't know. It looks like this guy's got his barrel just pointing at the back of this dude almost. But and then
Yeah.
this thing.
Last week on the DTR, we were talking with Wild Bill for America, and he was all against that one guy pointing his rifle at the feds in the
Well,
Bundy situation.
how do you know where he's pointing it though? You know.
It doesn't matter. What about that guy right there on the truck? You know, and I asked him, what about all the Federals that were pointing their guns at the Bundys earlier before that? Well, they're trained better, you know, and I feel better when they're trained. And man, I could smell the bacon. He was definitely a cop at one point.
Yeah, I mean, why too? Because I mean, if you got it on safe, you're just looking through the scope, you're watching shit. But if you're gonna be a dumbass and not have it on safe, that's good deal.
Don't tell me, you know, you can't tell me it's wrong to point a gun at a cop after he's pointed a gun at you. If you know, just it's not. I mean, especially if you didn't do anything nefarious to deserve being pointed at in the first place. What do they expect? You know, just everybody lay down and let them roll through your town in a tank, in an obviously armored vehicle with a sniper on top of it. You know.
Yep. And I've seen reprints of this picture. I don't know, maybe it might have been in the mainstream media, and they didn't. They kind of cropped it off, where you didn't see the guy on the top. All you just see is all these guys. So I don't know. Oh no, we can't show this part. You know?
Nice.
So that gave us a little something to talk about there last night. And then, I don't know, there's that video of the people there. They're in their backyard, and they're told to disperse from their own backyard, and they're trying to explain to the cops, you know, this is my house, at my fucking house, and they're fucking throwing tear gas in their yard and shit. And the cops didn't tell them to go in the house. That's probably what they should have said, but they didn't give a fuck that the guy was in his own yard. You know, you gotta leave.
Yeah, the only way the cops are going to back down is if they meet an equal force. If everybody there was armed, it wouldn't have played out the way it has been so far, for sure.
Well, yeah, they show all the cops just kind of all standing out there in a row, and they're standing around their cop cars. But you know, if there was a sniper hitting back at them, you know, it'd be like a circus for them running cover and shit.
Mm-hmm. As I said, man, I'd love to get behind them and just support them and you know, do whatever, but at the same time, the kind of people they're, you know, getting in there, I'm still supporting them, you know, it's just not the same amount, because, yeah, they're bringing in the whole race thing, and that's just turning off right there. Don't tell me it's just because the kid was black. Maybe that case was, but you don't even know that, you know, we don't even know that. It's still their word versus whoever else's was their word. There's no video proof one way or another of if the guy reached for the gun or not. But don't make it like white people never get harassed by the cops, because that's just bullshit.
Well, hopefully there are a lot of witnesses, and they can be called before a grand jury or something, that they can maybe tell what happened. But
Right.
I thought I heard something like one of the witnesses disappeared, so I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me. Talking about grand juries, I was contacted by a group called National Liberty Alliance, and they're promoting the common law grand jury. And apparently they got common law grand juries set up in 49 states, and Iowa is the only one that doesn't have one. So I put out the word with some of my buddies that are involved in that kind of shit, and see if we can get Iowa on board with that. We need about 20 people out of each county to serve on the common law grand jury.
How's it going, bro?
What's up, Jim? What's up,
Hey, Bill.
Oh, fuck. So the world's burning.
World's burning.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a pretty nice day in the Midwest today. At least the sun's finally out full strength.
Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful day here, and I'm only, 90 miles from you? So, yeah, it ain't much difference there.
But got a few puffy clouds, but no silvery chemtrail like shit. So it's good.
I didn't see any chemtrails today. There was a couple of fun little clouds. But you guys had a good chat last night with Tony and G, and
the rest of them. I had such a headache last night. I wasn't doing nothing. I was in a bad mood, had a horrible headache, and nothing's really different. You know, they're protesting today. Another black guy was shot, this time in L.A., unarmed. You know, I don't know what to tell anybody. You know.
Well, I don't know what they say the average number of police shootings per year. It was like 500. That would make sense to be
Well,
one
they
a day.
said that you're more likely to die from a cop in America than you would be in Afghanistan by a terrorist. I mean, you know.
Well, and let's clarify that figure. Not if you're white. You know, I hear people bitching about these. You know, I cannot believe the unearthed racism that I've seen across the fucking internet over this kid's shooting. Right? These people have every. You know what? Race in America is a joke. Okay? Seriously, if you're white in America, you're safe as fuck. Right? If you're black in America, yeah, you're better. You have more of you will get killed than soldiers in Afghanistan will get killed, or soldiers in Iraq will get killed. Right? If you're a young black man in America.
I'm not saying it's not there. There is definitely a lot of black, cops kill a lot of blacks, but I mean, it's not like they don't ever kill an unarmed white guy.
Tell me when. Tell me when. No, please, go search the internet. Show me the shit, because I would love to see it. Right? I can go search the internet right now and show you 2 weeks ago they let a drunk asshole, 45 years old, waving a gun around his neighborhood. They didn't shoot that fucking long gun. They didn't shoot that motherfucker down like a dog. Like they have all these unarmed people, and all these unarmed young black men, and unarmed middle-aged black men, right? So seriously, if the rhetoric sounds good, but show me on paper the amount of unarmed white people that have been shot down. I know of one in New Mexico.
Yeah.
I know of one beaten down in California, homeless, unarmed white men. But if I'm going to start listing off the amount of people who have been killed while being unarmed for no other reason...
Yeah, it's going to be primarily blacks.
There you go.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it's not just blacks. Dude, and it's not just a black thing. It shouldn't be, we're pissed because the cops... they're pissed because the cops targeted him because he's black. That's the word, right? How about instead of just saying, well, it's the cops versus us black people, how about the cops versus America? I mean...
I agree with you, but they're not doing the same disproportionate amount of fucking force to America in general. They're doing it to black people in general. Right? They don't even treat fucking Mexicans the way they treat the blacks, right? I mean, you look at the disproportion of unarmed deaths, and you're not seeing it as illegal aliens or people with some kind of Latino name. No, right? So they have every right to be pissed off. And you're right about it should be an American thing, not a race thing. But I'm telling you, from reading every single story, when you start reading the comment section, it looks like there's more Klan in America than ever.
There are a lot of comments saying that he shouldn't have been doing whatever he was doing. I agree with you there. And, they get all butthurt because the other side is screaming it. And then, of course, the cop lovers or the, people related to him or cops themselves are saying, no, you're...
No, dude, I'm talking about general public, dude. Oh, all the shit that, the cops said he jumped him. Does that make sense to anybody that this fucking kid walking down the street, cops tells you to get your fucking black ass over on the sidewalk, and two black kids in America, one going to college the next day, or 2 days later, is gonna fucking jump this cop? Seriously?
Well, I don't buy that shit at all either,
Right, but plenty of people do. Plenty of people do.
Right, but I mean, the same people would believe that shit if the kid had been white. They would have thought that he jumped the cops. They're always going to take the cops' side on a lot of
They wouldn't have even tried to push that story. And actually, that would actually be a possibility, but they wouldn't even push that story. They would not even push, they wouldn't have even tried that fucking lie. Okay? If it would have been anybody else. If it would have been any other color or whatever. I mean, see, we have, to be able to really see these kinds of true problems, we have to pull those fucking blinders off and put you and your family in that position. Your kid, 18 years old, right outside his grandmother's house, walking in the fucking street. And if that happened, if a cop rolls up to your fucking neighborhood and does that shit, right, how would you feel? If that's the real taking race out of it. But nobody does, right? And then when people get angry and they're protesting, they're in a peaceful protest, right? Because nobody's admitting the fact that the cops started the fucking riot. Okay? And every night since, the cops have started the fucking trouble, right? It starts out as a peaceful protest. They show up dressed for battle, right? And have since the beginning, right? Yeah. And they're the ones pushing for people to disperse. And how do they do it? Do they come out with a speaker and say, hey, please go? Yes, they start that way. And when you don't comply with what they have to say, then they bring the force. They spark it off. Is there plenty of people in there waiting every second of the moment just to be able to have an excuse to do dastardly shit? Yes. And then the cops give it to them and then claim it's not their fault. Oh, we're just doing our jobs. And America and white America starts screaming out, these motherfuckers burning up their own neighborhoods. What the fuck what the fuck? Right? Oh, they deserve everything they fucking get because they shit where they eat.
I don't like it if they are looting their own local businesses.
They're so pissed off, dude. There's no fucking ventilation for that kind of rage. Especially when you're talking about systematic. Dude, where those cops don't work. This is a black suburb, right? It has something like 60 cops. 3 of the cops are black. The majority of the people that live there are black. Who runs them? White people. You know, and how do whites treat blacks? How do white cops treat black people? So you're talking about systemic shit. They have such blind rage, you really fucking blame them not for burning down the whole fucking goddamn part of St. Louis, period?
Yeah, they need to take it to the
one end and fucking letting the wind carry it to the other and killing everybody.
Take it to the place where it needs to go, which is the cop shop. They need to protest in mass right there. If they're going to loot, destroy property, or any of that,
and they
need to be at the cop shop.
Okay, but this is what I'm trying to explain to you. Do you not think that is exactly? It starts where they fucking killed the kid. Then it moves to the main area, right? And once it does, once the vigil gets bigger, and all these fucking cops, every SWAT cop up in battle rattle that you didn't even get to see in fucking Iraq. Right? You talk to some of the guys who fought in the war, and they're seeing cops out there with better rattle than they had. And they're going against the fucking American people. Okay? But they don't consider them the American people. You heard it right out of one of those fucking cops' mouths. Right? Fuck you, you animals. And you hear it out of everybody's I've heard it on the Dragon. I've heard it in every goddamn single fucking write-up on this thing, right? It always comes back to people think of them as animals. They don't think of them as other fucking human beings who have a right to be pissed off because the cops fucking stop and frisk them every chance they get for fucking walking around in America. They're not Americans, dude. They're black Americans, and that makes a difference. And nobody wants to admit that shit, especially not Whitey, because we all want to think it's all good and equal. Well, you know why they ain't rolling through a fucking trailer park and shooting down a white kid? Why ain't there some fucking sheriff somewhere in the same goddamn state, same fucking area, rolling through a trailer park full of fucking white trash like me doing that shit?
Well, there's a definite argument on that, for sure.
And you know what?
And if they're not targeted more.
Do you think the American people would call, if it was a poor white area, same exact circumstances, then the cops who are all black, right, show up to fucking, and because most of the cops in this all white town are black, right, and then the cops show up and white people are protesting these black cops, right, like this is even fucking impossible, but white people are there protesting these black cops, right? And then the black cops start a riot, and then the white people start looting. Do you think most of America would call them animals, or do you think that this is such a fantasy when I'm speaking that it's so far beyond the pale of possibility that you can't even get your head wrapped around that? Because I can barely.
Well, you've been researching it quite a bit, obviously.
Dude, I don't have to. I use the shit between my ears and understand what I read.
And if you were listening, I wasn't technically disagreeing with you at any point.
No, I don't think you were. Sting, this is really not towards you. I just have such pent-up
I just don't like it when you get Al Sharpton, Trayvon Martin's family over there. It's not that it's just the cops versus blacks. Yes, it is disproportional. I'll agree with you on that. But it shouldn't be that way. It should be. I mean, there are white kids cases, New Mexico for one example, off the top of my head, that, you know, poor white kid gets shot down. He had a record, and they make an excuse that, you know, they were in fear of their life, kind of bullshit. We see it a lot. You know,
no. We see people dying a lot. We don't see white kids dying a lot. And that's, dude, I'm telling you, do the research. Do comparative research. Compare how many stories like this are white and how many stories like this are black. Why do you? And now Trayvon, we all agree that Trayvon Martin shouldn't even be in this thing. Right? And you're going to have the opportunists like Jesse Jackson and fucking Sharpton down there fucking feeding the fire, right? Calling for peace, which is wrong because at this point they really should be calling for war.
Right? And I agree. I think if they were to do anything productive, they should take a page from what happened at the Bundy Ranch. Show up with force. Because that's the only way they're going to get any kind of, you know, that's the only way the cops are going to back down.
I agree.
Until then, they're going to get beat down like dogs, like animals, every chance the cops get.
But then what happens when you start bringing up the new Black Panther Party? Well, then, again, this is what happens when you bring the new Black Panther Party, basically a black militia, right? Because that's the way they start. That's the way they originally started, right? Is they're trying to protect the people in their area from this kind of thing. That's how the Black Panther Party started. Now, when you bring up, well, then maybe the new Black Panther Party should go down there and start setting stuff up correctly, right? The new black militia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should go to those neighborhoods and start setting shit up correctly. What the fuck do you think Fox News would say if they heard that shit? They would lose their motherfucking minds, right? Not like Bundy. They would lose their motherfucking minds. They got tanks rolling down there and nobody gives a fuck. They got the MRAPs rolling out, and you hear and you see in all, like I said, in all the responses across the internet that fucking people who 1 minute ago were bitching about MRAPs in their town are clapping about MRAPs in St. Louis. Right? Cool. Yeah, go take care of those motherfuckers. Calm down those animals in those neighborhoods. We got to do that. Send in every fucking thing. You send in them motherfucking tanks. Oh, don't use them against my white ass, but you send them into those fucking little darky areas. Those fucking animals need to be.
That is a problem. That's a major problem with the world right now. Is that it is, you know, we've been what do I want to call it? Class divided, race divided, you know, all these different diversive tactics that they've used. It's us versus them kind of mentality where you shouldn't be looking at it as white versus black. It should be cops versus Americans. It should, you know, they need, I don't know, it's bullshit. It should be every person in that neighborhood is who is upset, not just the black folks. Unfortunately, what does scare white people, at least as far as I'm aware, is when you get these Jesse Jacksons out there, these race baiters out there, and saying, you know, all this divisive shit, you know. Instead, get somebody out there that's saying, hey, it's not just black people that are involved, that are affected by this. It's the whole neighborhood who's affected by this, and we all need to stand up, you know. But it's hard because then you get, you know, some of them that are looting, right? So some people don't want to be associated with that shit, and some people, I don't know, man. It's one of those questions that I don't think there is a smart answer, and is there going to be somebody who can actually unite people, and not just because they're black or not just because they're white or whatever the situation may be, but because they're Americans, you know?
Yeah, I do know, and I don't see it. And, you know, everybody, let me put it this way. The second that Sharpton and fucking Jesse Jackson need to go shoot them fucking selves at this point, right? Because all they do is bring bullshit to everything just by going there, right? Sharpton should keep his ass in New York, shut his fucking mouth, and report on it, right? And on his fucking TV show, and stop going to these places, because it gives the racist, it gives the inherent, deep down racist a quick and easy way to bail on any issue when they show up. No matter how truthful it fucking is, right? We all watched that black man get choked down in fucking in Staten Island, right?
Yeah.
And it pissed off all of America until these two assholes show up. And then it gives all the fucking inherent racists, the ones that are so deep down in their soul they don't even know it themselves, a fucking instantaneous fucking chance to go, fuck this. These two clowns are involved, I'm done. Right? I don't support it anymore. Maybe the cops are right. Dude shouldn't have been selling a fucking cigarette for 50 cents to a friend of his. That deserved him to die. It deserved a black guy to die. You will never see a white dude die like that.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah, that was some bullshit. I don't know how many cigarettes I've sold to people on the street, not trying to make a dollar, but just, you know, hey, can I buy a cigarette off you? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you were a fucking cab driver. You know that was like almost a business.
Yep.
Right?
I've made good money on that when people are out of smokes, stores are closed.
So, you know, I mean, but you won't see a white dude die over that, right? You won't see a white kid today in America dying, crossing the street to his grandmother's house. And you, first of all, you're not going to see a cop say, get the fuck out of the street, explicitive. You know what I'm saying? That's just not going to happen. On any kid.
One story here locally in Arizona about a year ago, I think now, was a guy who was running from the cops, took him on a nice little road chase and pulled into his own neighborhood, you know, and finally slowed down. They ordered him out of the car. He gets out of the car, put your hands up. His hands are up in the air, and as soon as they reached the air, they shot him down. And that was on video, you know, and that was... Pissed me off that there wasn't more outrage on that one. You know what? I haven't looked up that story recently. I'm kind of curious of how that went.
Well, if you remember, his last name was Latino, but that's Arizona. You don't know what that could be these days down there, you know, because... No, seriously, I mean, you know what? There's people who've lived there before the damn country was you know, before Arizona joined the Union with Latino last names, and they're as American as everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Right.
More so, right? Because they were there before it was America. So, anyway, but I'm just saying, man, it's insanity to me, right? Watching all this bullshit with the fucking with the assassin. I mean, like I said, growing up in New York, this is like a fucking sport for them, right?
Yeah, I think there's too much racism all the way around. It's not just, you know, the cops being racist against blacks. It's not just the white people saying the cops were right doing it, racism. It's also, you know, on the other side, too. The race baiters are not helping this at all. And now it's not just the people of Missouri, the black people of Missouri wanting to go after the white cops. It's also just white people in general now. So it's getting bad all
okay, so you tell me after, you know, let's say freeing the slaves. We'll just start it from fucking Lincoln, right? And just screw slavery. Not even call what slavery did to that, because they were freed, right? So we freed the fucking slaves. They're now supposed to be on par, equal with Americans, right? With everybody else. Well, now tell me the way that's worked out for the past fucking 140 years.
Yeah, it sucks.
And it sucked like that because white people have always been more, and they've always kept them down, right? Now, I'm not saying it just is what it is, right? Just let's take the fucking blinders off and look at shit the real way it's happened, right? So why do you expect all these black people in this small black neighborhood that are feeling the same economic bullshit we have, right? And their community has been systematically put in proportionately. There's more black people in jail per capita than there are white people, right? Now everybody says, well, they're inherently more criminal. No, they're not. They're just as criminal as us fucking white people. We just like busting black people more. But nobody wants to fucking talk about that. Now, I'm not giving any of these
That's
people...
a good subject for a chat. I'd have to do some research on that. I don't know how I feel on that one yet.
Now, I'm not giving anybody excuses for doing dastardly shit. You own up to all the shit you do. And the opportunity, that's why I said what you call them, these race baiters. How are they really race baiters when actually when you look over the landscape of black versus white, fuck Obama. He's a fucking biggest Uncle Tom ever. Right? And they used him as a symbol to where this shit keeps going on. You know, they didn't do stop and frisk in New York on fucking white kids.
Here's one of my issues.
You can read all the numbers, dude. There's more white people in New York City than black people, yet the disproportionate number of people that were stop and frisked, that were arrested, that all that shit was fucking black. So you tell me, in the most liberal city in America, right, how that shit's even possible, and nobody fucking noticed, because the liberals don't notice shit that's happening right under their fucking nose.
Here's the thing, you know, we had President Obama saying how Trayvon Martin could have been one of his kids, and no word from him on this so far that I know.
No, well then you're just not looking good enough because he did come out.
He has talked about it? Okay. Well, you know, he's a boy, that would be an awesome chance for him, right, to say, you know, we're all Americans and stuff like that, and this shit's not going to stand in America, you know, whether you're black or you're white. It would be an awesome opportunity for him to bring people together instead of keep dividing them, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. The more
nobody wants to hear from him, dude. Nobody wants to hear from Obama on this shit, on either side. The fucking right is the right side, the white side, whatever, is fucking daring him to fucking talk. Daring him to say shit so they can... I mean, they're already bagging on the little shit that he did say. Go check out Drudge. Go check out Breinhart. Go check out Alex Jones. He didn't say much, but what he did say, they're fucking all over like, you know, white on rice.
Alex Jones to me is kind of like
I'm just using it as an example.
Right,
you know?
These people also make money on the torment of whoever they're covering at the time, but yeah.
Dude, all media makes money on the torment of whoever they're covering at the time, you know? I mean, it's just, I don't even know what to tell people anymore. You know, you tell people to stand up, they do. Cops start a riot, and then you blame them for fucking looting and rioting. This isn't after a basketball game. These were peaceful protesters that were there, ready to stay there all night, all day, and they keep coming back. No matter how many times the cops start the riot with fucking shooting, disperse, listen to our authority.
I think if you want to do anything to change, if you want to do anything to change or bring people together, man, you just got to stop allowing them to divide us.
Well, there are people fighting back. You saw pictures of it last night, right? But they're starting slowly, just like everywhere else in the fucking world. You know, all the hot spots over the past year of the Dragon that we've talked about, right, where people are standing up, started just like what's going on in St. Louis. And rioting happened there, and all that kind of shit happened, right? In all these places where the CIA started fucking revolutions, that this one's actually happening organically, and all of us who have been standing out there saying, yeah, go against the man, all of a sudden now the man is us, and we're going, wait a second, they're wrong. They're burning down a Quickie Mart. What do you think's the first thing to burn in fucking Turkey? What do you think was the first thing to burn in fucking the Ukraine? In Kiev?
Well, if I had a business in that neighborhood, and I was the business owner, and they were coming at my business, yeah, I'd be kind of pissed off. And they'll be like, well, you're a white business owner. Well, you know, it's not my fucking fault I was born this way, just the same as it wasn't your fault for being born your way.
But no, you're not grasping it again. Okay, the thing that I'm trying to say. The white-black thing, if you take it out of it, it doesn't matter because, look at Shiite, Sunni, right? Fucking Irish, Catholic versus Protestant. Fucking right now in Turkey and Ukraine and all these places, they're burning down those businesses too. They're looting those businesses too. Okay? They're doing the exact same thing. When the cops start a riot in a place, it's a fucking riot. Looting goes down. Destruction happens because it's a fucking riot. But we immediately look to their animals stealing. No, it's a fucking riot. If the cops hadn't started the riot, then guess what? The riot wouldn't have exploded and looting wouldn't have gone on as a result of the riot.
I think it's just misguided.
It's misguided anger.
misdirection.
Yes, misdirected anger, because where do they have to put it at? And now that they are fighting back, now that they are, learning how to make fucking Molotov cocktails and throwing them at the fucking cops because they're tear gassing them and shining them with lasers, right? Ready to fucking cap a motherfucker. Like that. They're ready. They're ready to rock and roll. Right now they're using wooden bullets at times, rubber bullets, and all the same shit that we bitch about the cops using overseas, right, on protesters in Kiev or protesters in Turkey or protesters in Brazil or protesters anywhere else in the goddamn world that we're all supportive of. Now that they're using it on our own people, we're like, these motherfuckers ain't got no right. They're fucking animals shitting where they eat. Let's bring it to Gaza. Let's bring it to Gaza. Imagine the same protests, right? They kill a bunch of people. Some unarmed kid gets killed in Gaza. Unarmed, not Hamas. Unarmed fucking kid gets killed in Gaza by Israelis. People come out to protest, and we're okay with them bombing all those fucking protesters because too many people got together.
I have no comment on that. But I do think it's misguided. They need to go after the police. That's the ones that shot that kid. That's the ones they think are doing them wrong. If you're going to gather, protest, and do something about it at the cop shop, not your local Quickie Mart.
And well, you know what? I just say do it, okay? That's Stinger's opinion. My opinion is do it. Fight them everywhere. If you got to burn your whole fucking town now, burn your whole fucking town now and go to the next town. Okay, enough of this bullshit, right? Because we have so many levels of standards depending upon whether the person's fucking Christian or Muslim or Jewish or black or white or Indian or whatever, right? We want to say we're all Americans, and if they then support them as Americans. You know what? Fuck them. They're fighting the cops however they do it. Whatever they got to do it. Some people are going to take advantage of a fucking bad situation. Some people are going to try and make it better.
Okay, so if I'm a business owner there and they're looting my store.
Holy fuck! They have insurance. They're gonna be covered. They're fucking covered. Their shit